What's your need? Digital embroidery, branding of souvenirs, engraving on all materials, t-shirt printing. We got you covered at Creative Line. Contact Creative Line on 0244 695057. Creative Line, serving you is our passion.
Welcome to Podbelly TV. I'm your host, Mr. Zapata. Now, imagine leaving everything familiar behind your home, your language, your career, and starting all over in a different country. Now, imagine doing all this thing while you continue to teach tech, inspire people, and shape young girls and guys in a whole new system. My guest on the show is Mr. Deveer, an educator in the United States, with my co-host, Mr. Isaac. We'll discuss the life in the United States and also help teachers migrate to the United States smoothly. They will tell us the documentations and what they need to know and what they need to do if they are interested in migrating to the United States. Also, you can also migrate to South Africa. He has been there. He's going to share some of his experience there too as well. So stay tuned. Keep watching Podbelly TV. Welcome to the show, Mr. Deveer.
Thank you.
Let's go way back to school. So I heard you were lecturing in school, even let's say when you were in senior high school and you were at the university. Were you a lecturer?
No, I was not. I was not lecturing, but one thing I enjoyed doing was like sharing knowledge with my colleagues. So like teaching them, explaining stuff to them. So yeah, that was what I was doing most of the time.
So I heard your name was Manny Fresh way back then. How did you get that name, Manny Fresh?
My roommate gave me that name, so he'll be the best person to explain it. But I think it all actually came from the fact that when we're in like level 100, we had a lot of money in level 100 because we barely went out to spend money, go to the restaurant. We just spent time drinking cocoa and bread, even when we had money. So when we moved to level 200, and then we were in the hostel, I think we were cooking a lot by ourselves. So I think through one conversation, we're like, Charlie, forget the money for spend them, then you for look fresh. You see. So I think it came from that, yeah, and then yeah. So we went into the university and then we're looking more of like we should have let the university go through us rather than us going through the university. So I think that's how probably he came up with it, man. And then he was a cash cow. So
Pascal.
yeah,
So that was how the money
I
came
think
around.
I want to know which roommate was that. I want to know that roommate.
oh, that's eraser, quick eraser. That's him right there.
Oh, it's not me. It's not me. Me, I don't have cow.
Charlie,
That's actually my debate.
Oh, how can a slim man like me be a cow? It's not possible.
we even I think we have pictures like that. It's one of like my favorite pictures. When we had I think we went to play soccer, we came back and then we had a bottle of Pure Joy. Was it Pure Joy? Something like that.
Yeah, pure joy, pure joy.
No, it wasn't. It was a fruit juice. And then there was like about 7, 8 of us trying to share that drink, and people had utensils trying to get a drink.
That picture still exists. It still exists.
Oh yeah.
So when you're in the base, where you practice as assistant, as in teaching assistant, you do have any experience with that?
No. I was never a teaching assistant in the uni. I did like no form of teaching in uni. I think the only thing I would probably do would be like explaining, like teaching my colleagues or explaining stuff to colleagues. That was it. But like something really formal to work under maybe the university, like a T or something, I never did anything like that.
Okay, so what did you study when you were at the university?
Oh, I did actuarial sciences.
Oh, okay. But did you start a career with that, or you like some
No,
of us who studied some courses that they follow the path? So
no,
you do
no,
follow your path. Why?
no. So I think at the time I did actuarial sciences in UCC, that was like actuarial science was now booming in Ghana. It wasn't really something like people knew. I think we were actually like the fifth year group. I'm not so sure. So even in UCC, they never admitted a lot of people. Mostly we're just like 20 to 25 students every year. So the main reason why I didn't pursue it further was I felt like we didn't have the opportunities in Ghana. So I was looking at probably moving outside the country, and then that was where I could really dive into it. And I didn't get opportunity when I wanted to, so that's why I didn't pursue it further. So
Oh,
that led me to going to South Africa because by then South Africa had its like they had like grounds for it. So the main idea was to go to South Africa and then pursue it. And then I go there and then life also happened. So yeah.
Okay,
okay.
so let's say before we go into your South Africa whole thing, I remember back in school, you even if you don't go for lectures, and we go to sit in
I
lecture
I
hall
know
for
where
two
you can be
hours, we
going.
return
I
and
know
then
where
you
you're
come to
going.
explain things to us. How do you do that?
Um, myself personally, maybe at that time I would not be able to like explain to it why that was happening. But after spending time in the educational system for a while, I think probably I can explain that. So we have a group of kids called gifted. We've got kids called like gifted students. So a gifted student could be you could be gifted in any form. It could be music, it could be at math, it could be at reading, it could be at anything. So you could be gifted in music, but you might not be gifted in math. So you'd see like there are some people who can play any instrument, no matter what. Like even if you don't teach them, they just observe it and they're able to play it, right?
Okay.
So, but when you come to books, they can solve simple questions. So you can probably take like maybe those who do rapping, you can have somebody write like lyrics and then they would rap it, and 10 years time they'll still rap it for you, but just give them a simple equation to solve. They will not even be able to remember what that equation is. So I would say probably naturally I was one of those kids. I was maybe gifted academically. So that's what I can say to it. And then I think one thing also was every time I just have somebody teaching me something, um, I just try to connect the dots, like get understanding. Why is this? And then able to link what I already know to what I'm currently learning, and then connect it to, oh, what is it going to be? So I got like much more deeper understanding. So for me to analyze and then kind of like the knowledge, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
and let me come in with this one as well. You were one of the gifted peoples. I won't forget that. When we were back in school, you were one of the gifted people, like top students in the class. Is it that you prefer to go into teaching than lecturing, or you had your own plans of helping the younger ones get into that field of which you've been able to achieve, or it's just a choice that you prefer to choose to teach in the senior high school rather than a choice of being a lecturer, or they didn't give you that opportunity at all from UCC?
I think I didn't take that opportunity. I didn't go into I think maybe in the near future I would go into lecturing, but with my personal idea and decision, I don't think lecturing would um make me achieve my goals because I feel like lecturers actually do nothing, you know. We've all been to the university, like the connection you have with kids in elementary school, with kids in like middle school, kids with high school, that is not there in like uni. Lecturing is like a whole different thing altogether. Like I feel like lecturers are more of like supervisors than teachers. So that's why I prefer to deal with the. I want to be like I want to have that close connection with those I'm trying to give support. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to South Africa.
Yeah.
How did that opportunity came? Because I know those opportunities are not something that's, it's just on the street that you just go and you just say, oh, I'm relocating to South Africa. So take us through the steps which help you to relocate to South Africa to start teaching.
All right. Okay. So just like I said previously, after I was done with actuarial science, and then I was looking at federal it in the States, and then I did not get the visa. Then what happened was a past teacher, like Mr. Dade, said, "Oh, actuarial science is booming in South Africa, so you can come over, look at how their system is, and then if you like it, you can just pursue it here." So right after service, I think like a week right after service, I used to the trip to South Africa. I saw how their system was, and then I put in my evaluation, spent like about a month and a half or a month, like 2 months. I don't really remember. Um, and then I came back. I came back to Ghana, and then early January 2014, yeah, I left back to South Africa to go back to school, try to get into the actual science program. So then now, it was more of like, oh, let me get some work to do and then try to pay my own fees because I didn't, I just felt like, oh, I wanted to do something by myself without my parents, right? So I'm like, okay, fine, let me just, I don't want, because it's one thing that people don't really know. When you travel to school, you kind of develop that mindset of like, I want to work and then pay for my own fees and earn something instead of like depending on your parents, irrespective of whatever their financial background would be. Sometimes you just want to be
Yeah,
on your own sometimes.
yeah,
So
cool.
yeah, so I was like, okay, let me work and then pay my fees. And then like in the reality, you could see how I thought it was going to be easy getting into their system. It wasn't that easy. Yeah. So then
Okay.
eventually when I started working, I had to divert from pursuing actuarial science to pursuing education because I wasn't really a qualified teacher. I was, yep. So when I started working, I was just like a normal degree holder, somebody not trained in education. And then when I started working, now I was forced to pursue education and become like a qualified teacher. So myself personally, I'm like, oh, this is something I enjoy doing. So let me just do it. And then as I did it, I fell in love with it more, and that has been the journey.
So what are some of the works when you go to South Africa? What are some of the jobs you did? And washing bay, cleaning or cleaning and
No, I didn't do any. I didn't do any of those jobs. My first job was directly into teaching. Yeah, but it was a little bit of a struggle to land a job. So um you could it's funny. It's you could go to school, you start working for like about 2 weeks or about a month, and then the next second you'll be told, oh, we couldn't process your documents and all that. So, or they'll say, oh, like the department sent, they had students called Funsha Lushaka. So Funza Lushaka were like students who were sponsored to do education in school. Like the government sponsors them to do education in school. So they post them to schools when they are done. So you might
okay.
probably be in your post and then they tell you, oh, we're sending a Funza Lushaka to come and take your position. So then you would have to leave and go find a different place to work again. So my first year, my first year was a little bit of a struggle landing like a permanent job for like a longer time. And then eventually 2014, no, 2015, I landed like my first job, which I was able to earn. And then there were issues with foreigners in South Africa. Like we
Yeah,
created that we created that whole issue. So they had to flash their system. They
yeah,
had to flash their system, and then like um in 2015, I was working for like almost 3 months. We had like a new department, like we had a new boss in HR, and then he was trying to flash the system and then make sure like everybody that was in the system was all good, right? So he was the one who actually told me, hey, Deveer, I see you've got like a good qualification and all that. When with your background, if I want to pay you, I can pay you because you are more than qualified. But the only thing is you are not a teacher. So I can use that against you. So if you can pursue to become a professional teacher, then I can have you um, work for me. So he was the one who actually pushed me to now go do education. So he said, I'm not going to make you unemployed. I'm going to make sure you're working, and then so you can get money to go to school and then become like a professional teacher. So after that 3 months, I got paid. The funny thing about South Africa is when you become a new teacher in the system, you don't get paid quickly. Your papers had to go through process. And by the time you go through the process and everything is fine, you might have gone like 3 months without salary. So the whole salary would come probably after 3 months, and then it comes like in a huge lump sum. So after that, my 3 months, I just said, you know what? I'm just going back home. I just want to go back home because life is far better and like back home, and why should I be here? And then the very day I got paid, I got a phone call from a friend who said, hey, you know what? There is this former school I was working at. They need a maths teacher. They've been struggling for like almost the whole year. Do you want to apply for that job? And I said, no, I'm tired. I just want to go back home. Because I know if I'm back home I'll be far better than I am here. And then I said, oh, hey, just give it a try. Just give it a try. Just give it a try. So I did. And when I put in my application, it was less than about like 2 minutes. The principal just called me and was like, hey, where have you been? I've been looking for like a maths teacher for like almost a year now. And I was like, where have you also been? I've been moving from one school to the other. Yeah. So he asked me to come over. I went over, he interviewed me, and then he saw my qualifications, and eventually I landed like the job, and that was when I was working continuously for like a very long time. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know you didn't teach in Ghana, so by this question, a fair view.
Mhm.
What's the difference in South Africa and Ghana? You've seen how people teach in Ghana, so you can give us a fair view.
All right,
The
okay.
difference
Yeah.
between the two.
So that's a good one. Even though I didn't teach in Ghana, like I schooled in Ghana, so I could be able
Yeah.
to relate to the teacher. Um, I feel like there is a little bit of similarities, but I feel like our curriculum is not, I would say the way their curriculum is designed builds a student compared to Ghana.
Okay.
So let me break this down. So in South Africa, we have the intermediate phase, that is grade 1 to 7, right? Which Ghana would
Yeah.
say class 1 to
Good. Fine.
GHS
Okay.
1.
Great.
And then
Okay.
you move to the senior phase, which is grade 8 to 9. That is GHS 2 and GHS 3 in Ghana. And then after that, you move to the FET phase, which is
Okay.
grade 10 to 12, and then you exit. So grade 10 to 12 is in Canada is going to be SS1 to SS3.
Yeah.
Now, their system is such in a way that you don't move from one school to the other, like in Ghana. You go from you go from class 1, and then you go all the way to JHS 3, and then you exit and you go to a different secondary school, right?
Yeah.
In South Africa, they have it's always grade 8, which is JHS 2 to SS3. It's always one school.
Okay.
So you go from grade 1 to grade 7. So even though grade 7, 8, 9, that is the senior phase, you have grade 7 being part of like the intermediate phase.
Yeah.
So you move from that to join the 8, 9. Now this is what you do. In grade 7, 8, 9, you take subjects like creative arts. Creative arts is more of like dancing, singing, musical stuff, and all that. You do natural sciences. Natural sciences is it's physics, chemistry, biology, IT, right? In Ghana, we'd say integrated science. Then you do math, you do English, you do their local language, depending on like where you are. So like in Ghana, you could do Ga, you could do Chi, you could do yep. So with them also, depending on where you are, you could do Setswana, you could do Xhosa, you could do Venda, you could do Zulu. So
Yeah.
and then you do technology. Technology, which is one of my favorite. It has to do with building crafts. Like the kids would have to probably build like a bridge, or they learn about like the engineering system, like the GS, like how machines operate and all that. And then they have EMS, Economic Management Sciences. So
Okay.
Economic Management Sciences is financial accounting, cost accounting, business studies, and then like this, like the business subjects put together.
Okay.
So in grade 7, 8, 9, you are doing all of that. In grade
Okay.
7, 8, 9, you are doing all of that. That means that before you get to what we would call secondary school in Ghana, like before you go to the
So what
FET
you do
phase,
what you want to do.
you know what you want to do.
Yeah.
So you know what business looks like. You know
Yeah.
what art looks like. So
I do
you
that.
as a
Yeah.
student, you know what math and science is going to look like. So you as a student, you are able to choose that, oh, I want to pursue business courses.
Yeah.
or I want to pursue sciences, or I
Thanks,
want to
boss.
pursue the arts.
Yeah.
But in Ghana, we don't have that. So in South Africa, everybody knows about debit, credits, FIFO, LIFO, because everybody does it in grade 7, 9. But in Ghana, if you don't go to a business class, you don't know what debit is, you don't know what credit is. You
Yeah.
just
True.
jump into it. Their system builds you to know what you want.
Yeah.
And they don't learn anything outside. That's one thing. Like if you realize why South Africa is one of like the developing, or I could say it's one of the most developed countries in Africa, it's because they do less importation. So they don't learn things outside their country. Like everything is about, if you're learning like the commerce you're learning about like South Africa. Not like in Ghana would be learning the accounting system of UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I feel like their system is better off because it builds you as an, and they don't stress the kids. Ghana, you could do maybe trigonometry in SS1, and then that is it. And then you go to SS3, and then you would have to, like 2, 3 years after, you'd have to go take an examination on that. No, that doesn't happen in South Africa. So in South Africa, like when you're in grade 10 and you're doing trig, you do a little bit of it.
Okay.
So when you go to grade 11, that is SS2, you are going to do trig again, then they add a little bit of it to it. I don't know if you, so it's like you get the foundation.
Yeah. It's just like math,
Yeah.
do math, then do relative math, the next one, then
Yep.
you do the
So it's the same
job.
thing. So it's something
Yeah.
you've seen already. They just add a little bit of it. And then
Yeah.
you go to grade 12, you still do trig again, and then they add. So you keep getting the foundation and you keep building on it. Unlike Ghana, you just do trig, SS1, and that is it. And
Yeah.
SS3, once you just see the question, you've gotten everything. So
Hmm.
with their exam system, it's structured. It's structured. You walk into the exam room, and you know what is going to be at question one. I was teaching math, question one, you know what question one is, question 1, 2 is. You just don't know what the values are, but you know that this is going to be the question. Question 2, so even like as of now, I can tell you what a South African math paper one, like they had 2 types of math. They had math, and then they have mathematical literacy. Mathematical literacy is so amazing. Like it's one subject I wish every country could have. So like math, question 1 is on quadratic equations. Question 2 is on number pattern, series, and sequence. Question 3 is also number pattern, series, and sequence. Question 4, 5, 6 is functions. Question 7 is finance. Question 8 is on calculus, differentiation. Question 8 is on prob, and then that is for paper 1. When you go to paper 2, question 1 is statistics. Question 2 is I think analytical geometry, that is lines. Question 3 is on circle geometry. Question 4 is on trig. And question 5 downwards to 8 is on Euclidean geometry. So the kid goes in there knowing what they're going to
So
write.
you know what
And like if I
follows.
break down even question 1, it's being on 1.1, it's just solve a quadratic equation. 1.2, a quadratic equation, but this time around, maybe so what Ghana would say simultaneous equations. So like question 1, 3 would be something on exponents. So you know what you're going in there to, right? So you don't need to panic. And if you write it and you fail it, you have another opportunity to write it again. As many times as you want. Ghana, if you fail it, you are doomed.
Hmm. And I understand why people love that. To be frank, I prefer that system. I prefer that system to what we are currently running. But I think I understand why I don't know how to dance because I didn't learn creative art. They didn't give me
You
the
know
grade.
what?
That is why I don't know how to dance. But Mr.
I
Jakarta is just like me. He also doesn't know how
you
to
know
dance.
you
If we
know
were
what?
taught how to dance, I think we'd have done better. At a,
Like I wish I could get a view. If you look at South Africa, like one of the things they do very good in is like music and
Yeah,
dancing. And I'm
dancing.
not surprised like now they're taking over the world with like their piano music and then the dancing. You'd be amazed like every single person knows how to dance. And when they do
Yeah,
creative art, they put them into groups and they create their cultural dance and they present it. And when these kids are presenting it, oh goodness, the you could see the
the joy.
thing,
To see the joy.
you could see like every it's a pattern, like you could see that oh this and everybody's doing it. And nobody's gonna go like good academic. Like I think that is also one thing that our system doesn't. In South Africa, nobody cares about how much academically good you are, or not. Ghana, they were like, oh, Charlie, but this person go chop first, this person go chop second. No, no.
Yeah,
It's build the kids, let the kids go through the system. So they they don't do it like they don't create that competition in there. So the kids have that joy. It's just left to the kids to be able to know that oh this person in the classroom is like our top scorer or this person is they don't do that thing that we do to say that oh who would be first in class, who would be second in class, who would be third in class, that get your report you'll be able to see that oh like you were first, you were second. I feel like all those things affects us one way or the other.
yeah. People do true and poor just to get the position.
This is so that is it. Yeah.
before I ask the next question, I want us to go on a commercial break. Come back, then I'll put up my new question.
All right. Okay.
We sew to suit your brand, with every stitch making your stuff look exquisitely consistent, reflecting your brand in every corner. Be it overalls, corporate uniforms, safety wears, lab coats, scrubs, polo shirts, aprons, and many others. At Prestige Clothing, we produce with durable fabrics that last you a lifetime. Locate Prestige Clothing at North Ghanaian Swan Lake. Contact us on 0244 695057. Prestige Clothing, your ideal clothing company.